Back to Digiburst guys, today we're trying something new. This will be prepping for BT10. The whole idea of this video is to essentially try decks that are up and coming into the meta. We will do a general introduction for how I think the deck will run, a deck list, a very simple standard deck list for how it runs in Japan, some matches to demonstrate its strength, and then a conclusion to wrap up and how I think it will come in to the new meta. Very simple stuff. So in a way, you can take this as a sort of guide to how the deck will be played coming in and how it might change as well. And of course, these decks are rigorously tested. I tested this one for about a dozen games, and to find out where its maximum ceiling is once a player actually knows how it plays in their own hands. And I give you Bloomlord. Now, Bloomlord is considered a tier 1 deck at the moment in Japan after the hit for Alphamon, of course. But that's actually with EX3, something that we're not going to be getting for a couple more months down the line. So, with this Bloomlord deck, it's strictly BT10 cards and older, so you won't be seeing maybe as much power you would in the current Japan list. So diving right into the deck list, we're starting off with 4 of the Agumon and 1 Pinomon. You're hopefully guaranteeing a lot of advantage off this Agumon with your plays that you're doing, especially when you go super wide and you're suspending a lot of Digimon through your own effects. 3 of this Palmon, which reveals 3 to add a level 4 Digimon. 4 of this Palmon, which adds a plant or vegetation from the top 4 cards, as well as a fairy, and the fairy of course being Bloomlord itself, and then place the bottom in the order. 4 of this Palmon here, which gives plus 2000 DP when attacking a Digimon. And 2 of this Digimon, which has a floodgate effect for players can't play Digimon by effects. Now, these Digimon are all vegetation, which are extremely important traits to consider in this deck because a lot of effects that you're going off are very restrictive in the kinds of traits that you can play. So putting them all on vegetation is very important. Digimon, I'm hoping to be getting a kind of exploit off, considering that you might get a mirror match or there are decks that play Digimon by effects, and hopefully they can lock them down. You have to be careful with this one because it does affect both players. So this deck does play a lot of Digimon by card effects, so you need to be careful not to have this guy on the board when you want to be playing Digimon by card effects. But it's very important that it is a floodgate with vegetation in its traits. Cards like Terriermons are really good floodgates for locking down memory, but of course those cards won't be able to be played through these Bloomlord effects. Onto the champions, 4 red Vegemon, 4 Sunflowermon, and 4 Weedmon. You can generally notice a trend with these guys, all 3000 DP or lower. Very important stat in this deck, because you will be getting effects that allow you to play them from your hand for free, with cards like the Sunflowermon here, which will let you play a 3000 DP or lower when digivolving by suspending a green Digimon. And of course it has to be a plant, vegetation, or fairy Digimon. So I'm trying to keep in theme by having all these guys be vegetation. Super important here that they're all vegetation in order to get this effect off. It's also got an inherent effect where when one of your Digimon is suspended by an effect, draw a card. You're going to be doing that a lot in this deck because the Sunflowermon will do that, as well as Cherrymon here with the Digisorption diving right into the level 5s. Cherrymon, Digisorption, really good for that. Really easy to get into your level 6s as well through that way. And of course, it's got the new blocking effect, or blocking-esque effect, for when your opponent's Digimon attacks, you can switch the attack target to one of your suspended Digimon. That's really nice for the Cherrymon, because 7000 DP, not bad, force your opponent to replace the dash into it. Moving on to the other level 5s, we've got a Jatamon, which has a similar effect to the Sunflowermon for a main once per turn. So there's something trigger for any particular condition, you have to activate it on your main phase. You can suspend one of your green Digimon to play a Digimon that contains plant, vegetation, or fairy in its traits with 3000 DP or less from your hand without penance cost. So again, you're going to be getting these free 3000 DP champions, or any of your Powermons or Pumamon. And the inherent effect for when one of your Digimon becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. This doesn't have to be by effect. So if you attack with a Bloomlord that's over the Digimonc, you will be getting that memory back after attacking. And for the final level 5, we have the Chimeramon. Chimeramon's really cool going into this deck, because if you either over the Sunflower one, you can play a red Vegemon, and the Sunflower one will be suspended by its effect. And the red Vegemon has Summoning Sickness, where you can actually DNA Digivolve these two into the Chimeramon. So this Chimeramon can swing. You're going to get the effect off by reducing guys by 2k, as well as get the effect to put something underneath it. You might get an Ajatamon as well to get that bonus memory if this becomes unsuspended by evolving into a Bloomlord. Just super good combos like that. Really interesting to have this guy on the board. And for level 6s, we're playing 4 copies of the one and only Bloomlord. It's a really cool card. You can suspend one of your Digimon, then for each of your suspended Digimon that can plant, vegetation, or fairy in its traits, gain 1 memory. When you gain 2 or more memory by this effect, unsuspend this Digimon and it gains piercing. And then also for your turn, for every 2 of your suspended Digimon, this card gains security attack +1. So this is going to be our main playmaker for the deck, to get really big heavy hits in for that security attack +1, especially if our guys live in the security checks. Onto the options, we're playing 1 Hidden Potential. Gotta do it. It's just super solid going into this deck, especially for suspending your own guys going to Bloomlord. Then of course, if you have lots of guys suspended with the Bloomlord effect, you can unsuspend the Bloomlord to give it a bunch of security attack. Really solid. Samadhi Sati float fits perfectly in this deck to save you when your opponent is threatening lethal, as well as being a really good bomb in the security. Free memory boost to maintain consistency, and Mimi as the final card, having 3 of them, super solidly fits into the deck because you can easily get into your level 5, spend the Mimi to hatch an egg or push out in order to put a lot of aggression on the board, flood the board really wide, and then of course swing with the Digimon you just pushed out. So I'm expecting some big things from Bloomlord, considering that it is tier 1 in Japanese meta, and we'll jump right into the games. So for testing, I thought I'd start off strong. This is Alphamon on the left. Alphamon, of course, being at full power with all 4 of their level 5 X Anybody Digimon. I forget its name. I'm always awful with names. I know, actually, Doru Greymon, that's its name. And opponents starting off very well with that rookie and setting up plenty tamers with Cool Boys, getting just the right cards they need in order to build the stack. There's a Doru Grey that they'll need in order to do really powerful swings. And the Kota setting their memory on 3 to allow them really good memory in order to do their big evos. I'm starting off with pushing out my Salamon. Apologies for the really bad proxy, I'm just working with what I have in my printer. It is a green card, I promise. The Sunflower Mon will suspend itself in order to play the Powermon, and Powermon looking at top 3, grabbing a level 4 Digimon. This will come to hand, and then I can keep extending, evoing up into that level 4 for 1 cost, and then find the Ajatamon. Hopefully he doesn't have the right memory in order to push out, so I will take advantage of that. Hatching my egg, evoing up into a rookie, and I can push it out with the Mimi now, going for a really wide board. I'm activating the Ajatamon effect to play the Powermon, swinging in with my Powermon I just pushed out. It will live. I'll punch with the Sunflower Mon. I'm trying to get really good advantage, so when I go for my Bloomlord here, I can pay the 4 cost, suspend itself, and yes, it suspends itself because the Ajatamon was suspended, and then suspend my Powermon. Now this should only be doing 2 checks, but I accidentally say it does 3 checks, so I will take that bonus one, but legally it should not be there. Legally it should be back in the security. Going into the Sunflower Mon, not being able to activate the effect because it's already suspended. The Ajatamon will gain me back a memory. I should have done that when attacking, but we'll just fix that there. And then into the Chimeramon. Really good pressure here onto my opponent, but he can make the Mega right now and might just be able to wipe the board. This is the Doru Dexmon. This can definitely pop a guy. The Powermon's the only target here. Getting back a memory, tapping the Cool Boys to draw 2 cards and get that memory back. Powermon getting deleted. Into the Alphamon, can the Digivolve something here? and then into the Doro Grey underneath it. Then into the Alphamon Orugan to pop both my guys because they are the same play cost, I believe. On end turn, it'll trigger to detach 4 in order to gain back 4 memory. And now he can swing and do a lot of damage here. So swinging with the Alpha, tapping the UG to put a Doro Grey underneath again, this will do 3 damage. So 4 damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, getting the booster, and then checking one last Digimon, wiping out all my guys. Kota will protect him from the hybrid for game, and then getting the memory booster put me on my 3 memory with my Mimi. This is a really tough spot for me. And if I could just see a rookie, then it'd be a much better situation. But the Smarty Scientist will protect me for 1 more turn, and hopefully I can find that rookie, or I can swing with the red veggie here. And he'll need to put out a blocker, or remove this red veggie in order to save himself. Building up his stack in his nursery won't do that, but finding this rookie to look at the top and getting an Oruka, he can potentially evo this one up into a blocker, and this will protect him from game next turn. But if I can find the hybrid or the rookie, then it will be very dangerous. Here's a Weedmon into Chimera, and I just will equip the Ajatamon, and I will scoop that one up because I do not see the rookie. So after losing that one, we'll try against a different deck and hopefully we can show its power. Okay, this one is against Armor. Hopefully this will be a good test of strength. Going into my rookie in the nursery there. Can't quite see it, but it is a Salamon. Looking at the top 4 here, grabbing a vegetation, getting me that red Vegemon passing turn there. Armor has a really fast starting, hopefully. We'll hopefully find all the rookies that they need. Getting the Vmon in their nursery, playing the Tamer with the Hammerspark, and then Vmon looking at top 4, grabbing a 2-color Digimon. We'll grab that Magna Angemon. This is really good pressure on for them going into the early game. The Sunflowermon will tap itself to play the red veggie, and I can go nice and wide with the, actually no, going into the Chimeramon to remove that rookie, really nice value, hitting into the security will actually take out both my guys here. Oof, unfortunate. But I will just play the red veggie, only 3 cost, passing turn. They'll get the bonus memory off the Davis Ken into the Lydramon. They can easily wipe out my board here, but they decide to go into my security, hitting in, removing a Palmon, getting the bonus memory off the Hammerspark, and then playing the Vmon. I'll keep my red veggie alive happily enough, and hopefully I can push for pressure, but he is choking me on 1. I'll get the draw and hatch. Evo up my nursery. Wish I could have that in camera, but unfortunately my camera wanted to stabilize itself, and by doing that it cropped up a lot of the game. I'll grab the Palmon and then wipe out that Vmon with minus 2000 DP. He'll get the hatch into the Vmon. This Lydramon actually has minus 2000 attack, so it will die, and then this Vmon actually should have died in the check. We don't catch that, but hopefully you can forgive it. This Magnamon is really beefy. Getting the Flame Shot for +1 security attack, hitting 2 of my security, and playing the Vmon. Pushing out my rookie, I can suspend it with a Smarty Santi, and then into the Bloomlord. This is 4 cost. Unfortunately suspending itself, unsuspending, but it will pass turn, putting him on 1. And my card in my security needs to be exactly Smarty Santi in order for me to live this. He is on 2, so he could easily go into the hybrid. There's a Smarty Santi suspending the Magna. Now the hybrid or armor will guarantee game. And there's a hybrid. Wait a minute, I was supposed to win this one. So back with the deck, and unfortunately I couldn't convert these wins. Perhaps I'm too green with the deck, but it really didn't demonstrate the power I expected from it, considering that it is a tier 1 deck in Japan at the moment with EX3. Which is really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to playing with the Bloomlords in BT10, but at the moment, I just don't think it's right there. hopefully, maybe one of my viewers be able to take this deck and actually convert some wins into it. But as I see it right now, I don't think it's going to be a super popular, super powerful deck going into BT10. I always encourage you to challenge my decks and hopefully make them better. Now, if you like that one, guys, I will be doing some more prepping for BT10 in the next couple of weeks as BT10 arrives. In the meantime, check out the rest of my channel. We just did Jank Week, so that's always fun to watch. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.